In this project, I'm going to work on a series of 12 spoke color wheels, and I'm focusing mostly on um, trying to understand the colors that I own. So I'm using some colors that may mix brands, honestly, but are I tried to pick mostly single pigment colors. And so through this, I'll share with you what these are. So this is Mahello's Mission Gold Lemon Yellow. And then I use Daniel Smith's Quinacridone Magenta. And finally, I have um, Mission Gold, again, Cerulean Blue. These all mixed up relatively nicely. You'll see throughout this that I struggle with the blue and red mixes through almost all of these. And this paintbrush I'm using was a Quill number 4, and it holds a lot of water. So I was having some difficulty um, really trying to get smooth washes and not have the blooms take place. Even though I do enjoy those, so they didn't offend me too much. This next series, so after doing the kind of traditional cyan, magenta, and yellow, I chose to go into the colors that I've been using the most, where I do use a convenience green and a convenience purple, mostly because I never really tried to mix colors before. Um, and I wanted to see if I could make a mix with these colors that would be nice. And I'm not too fond of them. So this is Mission Gold's Yellow Orange, a Mission Gold Quinacridone Permanent Rose, and a Mission Gold Prussian Blue. And as they start to mix, you will see that the greens and the um, Mostly the greens actually aren't that lovely. And that has to do with the fact that yellow orange is actually two pigments. It's an orange pigment and a yellow pigment. And it is PO73 and PY65, mixing with the Prussian blue, which is a PB27. And those just didn't mix that well. I think the purples are quite lovely, that the Prussian blue and quinacridone permanent rose created, and I even like the ranges of the oranges. But I think if I were to continue playing with this, um, I would continue to use the olive green, um, which is the color that I use for greens when I'm using this red and blue and yellow combination. So here I realized I had a single pigment yellow, and I thought I would use the same Prussian blue and quinacridone permanent red with a permanent yellow deep, which is very similar, sort of, to the yellow orange. It is a single pigment PY65, so it doesn't have the PO73 mixed in it. So it's just the yellow pigment in the tube, not mixed with an orange. So here you get much more brilliant mixes with the red. They're a much more brilliant orange to red orange mix. And the green that you'll see is actually not too bad compared to the other one. I liked it a little bit better. But again, I probably would stick with a convenience tube color because these just seem a little muted for my taste. I like kind of a more vibrant green than I'm able to achieve with this permanent yellow deep. So now we can look at them side by side and we can see I'm not that great at mixing because my purples don't quite look the same. And I'm jumping right into mixing with the Sennelier. The first ones that I used are Sennelier's French Vermilion, Yellow Light, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, but it's Phthalocyanine Blue. I'm not a fan of that red. French Vermilion is a single pigment PR242. And I don't know, it looks orange to my eye, but it does, when mixed with that yellow, give us some really beautiful oranges. Which is going to be a struggle as I move on to the next. I really like these oranges, um, compared to when I started mixing some of the other single pigment colors I have to replace the red. But these oranges I really, really thought were lovely. These purples also, I'm not a fan of. I think that French vermilion makes them look sort of brown, and it's just not, I don't know. I need to practice maybe, but I'm really not a fan of the red violet, the what should be a violet, and then the termination of that like blue violet color. It's just not appealing to me at all. So here I have realized I have two different kind of magenta colors, I would call them, because they're pinky. They're not really a red. Um, and I'm going to, of the Sennelier. So I'm going to keep the yellow light and the phthalocyanine blue constant, and I'm switching out Rose Madder Lake and Opera Rose. So what I'm painting right now is Rose Madder Lake. And you're seeing this one is Opera Rose. And I really think I like Opera Rose the best when mixed as the purples and oranges for that matter.